What's up, welcome back to Nostalgia. Dave here with a review of Nobody 2, the action thriller film, the sequel to 2021's Nobody, of course starring Bob Odenkirk in the first role of its kind, really, for Bob. Of course, this was the most high-profile thing Odenkirk has done following his long run as Saul Goodman / Jimmy McGill on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Obviously, he has a bit of a profile because of that success of that show, and between the Nobody films and his, supporting role on The Bear on FX, he's branched out and, taken advantage of that newfound fame and clout. And Nobody from 2021 definitely came across as a kind of a welcome surprise. I think that was certainly a product of the COVID movie landscape. This was a film that I saw on video on demand, like I think most people did. And also, I think got some early attention because it was produced by 87 North, aka David Leitch's production company. So if there's an action film coming from Leitch and his camp, you expect some level of quality, some level of successful action choreography, a bit above the, schlock you might suspect at the dregs of the action genre. And Nobody 1 definitely, I think, delivered in that regard, just kind of as a welcome surprise, as a twist for Odenkirk. And I think was a fun and well-regarded movie. Do I remember a whole lot from Nobody, having not revisited it for Nobody 2? No, I don't remember much at all, but I remember liking it, especially for the time. And now we have Nobody 2, a new director coming in for this one. Ilya Nowstalgia, who did the first film, is out and replaced by Timo Tjahjanto, I think is how you say it. He's a Indonesian filmmaker who's, I think, done a lot, but nothing super high profile. This is definitely his, most mainstream work that he's done thus far. And, the whole cast is back. Odenkirk, his character's wife, played by Connie Nielsen, his father, played by Christopher Lloyd, the actors playing their kids, his childhood friend, Riza. And then we have some newcomers this time around, John Ortiz, Sharon Stone, and Colin Hanks as villains. Nobody 2 is a fine action film. It doesn't really switch up too much from its predecessor. It does come across as a bit less fresh, though. The movie makes the most of its budget, getting a lot out of the few locations it does visit. However, I don't think any of the fights or the kills, the stunts, I don't think any of them really jump out as far as like the peaks of this genre, the peaks of David Leitch's work elsewhere. About earlier this year, Novocaine had a really intriguing central premise, and Ballerina, even as the worst of John Wick, still has really incredible action. Nobody 2 has a much more successful story than, say, Love Hurts, but I don't think it really rises up above its predecessor. And unfortunately, the box office for this movie is super flat, very comparable to the first film, which again came out during the COVID box office era. So I don't think we're going to get a Nobody 3, albeit this movie probably will still be successful. Once all the downstream money comes in, I'm sure this movie will net out. But yeah, I think it was just fine. There's not even much to really get into with the plot. It's pretty straightforward. I think the fight on the bayou boat is pretty fun. The big climactic fight, the war zone as it's called, at the old rickety carnival water park location, pretty fun. There's some amusing kills there. Even the fight in the arcade, I think, is fun, but nothing really wows you, So it's perfectly watchable, but I don't think it even a movie that Leitch also produced, like Violent Night. I mean, that at least is it has more of a hook to it because it's Santa Claus, killing people, right? This is just Bob Odenkirk doing it again, and that novelty, I think, has worn off a little bit after the first Nobody. So a movie that's completely, fine if you're a big action fan, but I don't think it really will inspire too much in terms of being a creative entry in the genre. So yeah, solid for what it was. Let me know though, what'd you think of Nobody 2? Did you like it? Yes or no? Let me know. And for more movie reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.